Good evening, everyone, and it is Friday the 17th of April, and we are going to be talking to you about the advancements in the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill. I'm Amy Miles, and I'm joined with Kat Brown tonight. Nodding.
Who's actually here.
Who's actually going to not be spoken over this week. Hello, Christine. Lovely to see you all this evening. We do this because we want to make sure that you guys are all well informed. So please use the chat as much as you like to ask questions, and we will try to answer them to the best of our ability. So going then to any progress on the bill, we now have two listings, the 20th and the 22nd of April, for the bill to appear and be discussed in the House of Lords and then again in the House of Commons. So we're starting to see ping pong. You found a typo? Well done.
Yeah. It's all right. We're winging it a bit tonight, but that's fine. So basically, Monday it's back in the House of Lords, and Wednesday, I think I've got my days right. Yeah, it's back in the House of Commons again.
Yeah, so we're continuing the ping pong. The Lords are going back to the Commons, and the Commons are going back to the Lords, and so on and so forth. And the wording of this gets quite interesting as well. Have you noticed? So Lord Nash, his comment there, it says, "This House do not insist on the amendment of 38 and do agree with the Commons in their amendments of 38J, K, L, M, and N, and P, and all the way to Z, and propose the following amendment as an amendment to the Commons amendment." So he's basically saying, I agree with you, but could we amend that a little bit more, please?
So he's sort of conceded on what his original amendments were.
Yeah.
And unlike Baroness Barron, who
Barron is really going for it, and I am so proud of her. I've never been prouder of Barron. In fact, I've loathed her up to this point. She is not giving an inch. The two amendments that she is sticking by and will not move and will insist on them hearing them again, whether they like them or not, they will consider them and the matter, is 102 school admissions. So this is whether or not they level out the amount of admissions there are so that the popular schools don't have too many children and they force them into the less popular schools. I think one of the Lords at one of the MPs at the debate the other day said, I'd like to be the person, I'd like to see the person tell them that they can't have as many children in the popular school. I bet that'd go down well because it's not going to. So yeah, she's very, very stuck up on that one. And the other amendment that she's sticking by is 106, which is the school phone ban. She does not want phones in schools, period. And they have decided in the House of Lords that that is the best way to safeguard teachers and parents and children and what have you. And one of the examples that was brought up during the debate in the House of Commons the other day was that a child was sitting in the classroom and the parent phoned the child and the child had to say, I'm sorry, I've got to answer my parent. And the attitude of them was that that child is losing out on learning because they're answering their phone.
I mean, there could be quite a lot of context missed from that. What if there was an emergency happening at home? Something like that. but how they present these things is like, no phones, never ever, can't be done. Again, though, it's another bit of policy the Tories are just dictating to the government instead. They can't have an original idea, almost. I mean, most of the things in this bill came from the time of the Tories, the smartphone ban, the social media bits. That's also come really from the Tories, and Labour's just sort of, oh, this is what we're going to do. It's totally different to what everyone else suggested. It couldn't possibly be the same. Yeah. I will be back in one moment, Amy.
Okay. It's really important that we carry on helping our MPs to feel that they need to carry on this argument, because the more we can fuel this argument between the Lords and the Commons, the longer that they're going to hash it out for. And it's really quite fun to see. This is a bit of drama for us. We're seeing some snipes being made. So at the beginning of this argument, we had the Commons turning around and saying, why are we allowing the Lords, who don't even know how to take a photo on their phone yet, dictate what we amend our bill as? So we're getting these tiny little soap dramas unfolding within this. So it's really quite exciting, because it can get quite boring watching.
And you call it a soap drama. I just call it petty.
Well, I liked it.
Do you remember before this government were elected and Bridget Phillipson brought a children not in school bill on a opposition day?
Yeah.
And you've literally got Fleck Drummond on one side and Bridget Phillipson on the other side, both saying, you should get rid of your bill and support my bill, despite the fact they were almost worded exactly the same.
Almost identical.
Another child interruption.
Graham Stewart had a bit of a go of stirring the pot a little bit during the debate the other day, and he stood up and said, basically, we shouldn't be arguing between the two of us. Doesn't matter whether you are one party or another. We should be putting the children first. And then he said that even the speaker is saying that he's right and agreeing with him. So he's kind of stirring the pot and saying, look, Labour, you're not listening to all of us on the other side that are all agreeing with each other. We're all agreeing. Even some of the Labour people were saying the same thing. And there was this lovely cross-party support for safeguarding children against certain aspects of social media. But what we have to keep in mind here is, what is social media? So what Lord Nash's bill keeps going back to is the definition of user to user. The more that they keep saying about the user to user sites, the more that that incorporates things like Google Drive, WhatsApp, Pinterest, and even Wikipedia. So it can really be an issue for us using the internet if we don't pass that age verification test, or if Wikipedia and the other sites haven't managed to catch up and sort out that user-to-user definition of risk. So we could
Which is why instead they've just sort of given themselves a lovely blank check of Henry VIII powers, so they can just decide later. Why would the public need to know? Why would the MPs need to know? No. Just Liz Kendall. She can sort it. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Poor Liz. I do feel bad for her. She's going to have a heck of a job. But in July, we are expecting, if it's not delayed even more, that list of which sites are considered to be needing that extra level of age verification. And they are going to knuckle down on how they get that ID to show that you are over the age of 16.
sure you've told me this before. Is that from Ofcom, that list's coming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I bet it'll get put back again. But
I mean,
okay.
what we're doing here is we're creating the legislation without knowing the content. And it just seems really awkward to me.
Other than we're watching you and we'd like to tie it to your ID. Other than that. Okay. What else do we have today?
We have the written questions.
The written questions, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got this written question here, haven't we?
Was this the Maya's bill?
Yeah.
The Maya story related. There was a BBC article, wasn't there?
Yeah, they said that the Children's Wellbeing and Schools bill is only going part way towards Maya's bill. Now, Maya's bill, for those that don't know, is proposed because a young child unfortunately passed after a boyfriend shook the child, and the family and trusted adults around the child weren't heard. So the BBC have put this out quite recently, talking about Maya's law and the Children's Wellbeing and Schools bill, and how the Children's Wellbeing and Schools bill is really good for sharing data. It frees up the boundaries. The fact that this has been something since the Every Child Matters Green Paper in the 1980s and 1990s is irrelevant. It's new, it's shiny, and it's reinforcing that you have to share the data. And they're celebrating that, but then they're also saying, but it's what comes next. It's what the bill is lacking, is the action. We aren't seeing that action occurring after we've shared the data. We aren't seeing anything follow through. And Maya's law would do that, but it hasn't been considered as part of the Children's Wellbeing and Schools bill, which I think is quite interesting.
Yeah. Does this actually say what they specifically want Maya's law to be?
Yeah, it does. It says about the trusted adults. There we go. Trusted adults in a child's family network being able to be providing that safeguarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the new law will go further than what is currently being proposed, which is just literally like, hey, did you hear about so-and-so? Yeah, I heard about so-and-so. That's it. Literally just Chinese whispers, whispering over the, the fence to your neighbor. It's not actually doing anything about it. And that's what we need, because we're seeing more and more children being let down because social services and GPs and other trusted networks are not safeguarding the children because of whatever reason that they've given. And what we're actually sort of speculating is that actually this bill that they are saying will do everything and will be the perfect excuse not to look at anything else is not doing anything for children and safeguarding. So what we really need to see is people writing to their MP and saying, have you heard about Maya's law? Could that be added to the Children's Wellbeing and Schools bill? And then that would again create more division, more confusion and discussion and awareness of what's really actually in this bill. Why do we need the Myers bill if, as the government are saying, this bill does everything? It's fantastic. It's going to safeguard all the children. Oh, you're muted. What have we got next? She's going to have to sign language to me in a minute. Save Send Legal Rights. So there's a protest on May the 9th. It would be really great if we could see a lot of you attending, because send rights are also part of home education rights. And by helping the send argument, we also help to raise awareness of the Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill and how that is going to affect children as well. It definitely says that you're muted this time, Kat, just so you know. So is there a bit on this that you wanted me to focus on, or just to advertise it? Do you want to move on? So there's a consultation that you can do for the send section there. That's quite handy. They've got a write to your MP button, so that will make it easy for you to write to your MP about this protest and the send campaign. So that will all be really useful links, and Kat will pop that in the Substack for everybody as well. So you can get our Substack by putting !Substack in the chat now, and that will give you the link to the Substack for you to subscribe. And that's an email that comes into your mailbox on a Monday morning for you to read at your leisure. So that will have all of the video that we are creating now, as well as our full list as well. What we got now, Kat? Yeah, the Dorset Echo. So this came up last week, but it came up after we made our list for Substack, and it's quite an interesting one because yet again we have another council complaining about the amount of extra financial strain and work that they are going to have to do for home education. And I thought it slipped up a little bit there because it did try to kind of clickbait with the parents are having their right to home educate taken away. But at the end of this article, they do correct themselves and say that it will be a mandatory register. The right will still be there, and that for some parents, they will have to have local authority permission to do so. So they do correct themselves. There's some good statistics in there. Nearly 1,000 children in Dorset are registered, and there are 58 children that are CME. And it's very good at highlighting there that most aren't known to social care. So these children that are missing education, they've got EHCPs, they've got SEN, and they aren't receiving an education. And they've identified that only 9 in 10 of them are being given a suitable place, which isn't in line with the averages for the Southwest. So that's all really good statistics, and it shows you that they've done a bit of extra research in understanding what is being proposed and how it's going to affect both sides of the equation. They don't put that negative spin on it that we see quite often, which is, home educators need to be monitored more. This is very welcome. Actually, they're saying it's going to be clunky. It's going to be restraining for both sides. And I think it's a good one to kind of highlight.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That was slightly the tiniest knock of a USB cable, and boom, nothing wants to work again.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right, what have we got now?
Back to the protests. They're actually going to be nationwide, so it's really similar to what we were doing that weekend last year.
Yep.
With
brilliant.
It was May, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says events near you. Check their Facebook page. They've got them all listed as events on there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is
So the main one is Parliament Square in London.
Yep.
What day does that fall on?
I believe that is Saturday, if I remember rightly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's after all the May Day celebrations as well. So people might be more keen to kind of go out. The weather should be much better then as well. Not like today. It's been a bit drizzly.
Don't jinx it for them. Come on.
I'm touching wood. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything I've got loaded here. And now I've got the wrong window. Fantastic. Was there anything else we needed to bring up? Because you mentioned the Keeping Children Safe in Education consultation last week.
Yeah. So we've still got those 2 consultations, have we? We haven't hit the deadline.
We have a lot of consultations potentially.
Well, those 2 are the 2 main ones, though.
Let's see. We've got
the social media consultation.
They're going to get my raggedy list that I make for all you guys. Yeah, if I can get it to go in the right window. There, we can share that.
Yeah, there's the send reform.
They're kind of in reverse order. And right, there we go. Okay, we've got Keeping Children Safe in Education. Send reform, that one. Oh, I think Rome is having a fit soon. Is the 18th of May. So it's coming up, but it's not as immediate. Growing up in an online world, we covered that last week.
Yeah, that's a mid-May one as well.
Yep. Side related, we've got proposals on support for pupils with medical conditions at school. This is another interesting one, which I was saying earlier. Maybe we need to send some FOIs for fun and amusement. AI and other digital technology in children's social care. This is the government asking LAs, what AI are you using and how are you using it? Rather than the other way around, where they should be saying, this is a safe AI tool to use with children's data. Instead, they've just let them, it's like, on you go. There, you can tell us all about it later. But yes, that's the government. Another side related one, 16 to 19 level 1 English and maths qualifications. Might be relevant for some people. The super fun one of making public services work for you with your digital identity, because we're getting a digital identity.
Whether we like it or not.
No one asked me, but there we are. We've got it. This is more for us sort of political geeky people. Nerds, yep. 7th UK National Action Plan for Open Government. See whether they actually open up more data or if they go, no. It's far too much effort. We need to stop all those FOIs that are really pesky. And this is very specific. Assisted software funded through Disabled Students Allowance. Very specific.
There's also a wheelchair user
Substack.
Consultation. So they're looking to redefine how legislation supports people using manual and powered wheelchairs or other assistive adaptations, and whether we should be allowed to use cycle lanes or cycle like ramblers tracks and things like that.
Yeah,
so definitely pinning that onto there, it could be quite useful. There's a lot in there about age limitation. So if you have a young person or a young child with a disability that uses a wheelchair for whatever reason, then you will want to be looking at that consultation, because they're talking about whether you can go on the road or not with your chair at a certain age. And I think it's important to have everybody's voice on that one. The other one that I just remembered was Joe Merritt's success in Exeter University supplying the GCSE.
Oh, has she publicly said that, or are we just assuming because it's related? I don't know.
I didn't
think she was mentioned.
I don't know, but
it happens to be the same university
for her.
Yeah, so
because I know it's. Pleased.
I think I've briefly seen it on a couple of other groups where people misunderstood that it's actually a specific small group and it's not nationwide. But it's a good article though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Exam Access Project, led by the University of Exeter alongside local councils, aimed to remove some of the barriers the students faced accessing key exams. So it's a good project. There's lots of good things going on at Exeter University for home ed. Yeah, we've got a nice little bit of support there because there was outreach about, what was it, access to higher education, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That they were doing through there. Yeah, lots of good things happening there.
There was a bit of a trial to see how many home educated children would like to apply to Exeter University without using formal qualifications to get in. So yeah, there's a lot of movement at Exeter for those that are keen to know and read more about it. This will also be on the Substack link. Yes. So make sure that you are getting that Substack because it really is easy and it beats the Facebook algorithm because we're trying to use many tips and tricks for Facebook by ensuring that we put a picture on a post can improve the reach of that post, and by excluding links from the post itself and putting those in the comments instead, that also increases the reach of the post. So lots of people are like, I can't see the link, I can't see this or I can't see that.
Yeah, we just have to deal with it. It's the limitation of the platform. And because Facebook would like all of us running pages and professional profiles and whatever, they would like us to pay for verified to share more than 2 links a month. That's their next bit to introduce. So
I mean, I'm disappointed that Mark Zuckerberg has not been promoting my content against the social media ban, because I think it's in his best interests, don't you? Just a little bit, to be supporting our campaign against this bill and against limiting social media. And I'm so pleased to see in some of the comments of these posts that are more national now, because Canada have now started to consider very seriously a social media ban as well.
Oh, have they?
And the comments on that are really, really refreshing. I'm so pleased to have so many parents turning around and saying, that's my job. Why are you taking my responsibility and my job away from me? And it is just so empowering. And I just want to say, all those parents out there, please get informed. This is not a social media ban. This is a ban on children under the age of 16 having access to phones and internet so that they can find safety, information, support, and God knows what else. Yes, there are some bad uns out there, but what the government should be doing is protecting us against the bad ones and penalising them and limiting their internet, not ours. And I think if you look deeper into what the amendments is saying, you will be quite surprised, because on one hand, you've got the Labour government saying they want to introduce a bedtime routine. So there are some really scary proposals on the table at the moment. None of them have been properly discussed, and it is one continuous theme in the House of Commons and Lords that they do not have the time to discuss it. Did you see my statistics earlier, Kat? I put Gemini to task, to see how long they've actually spent on discussing this bill and how long the Lords did it and how long the Commons did it. And I think the Commons have only spent about 14 hours on this.
Not a lot for the content of this bill, though, is it?
No, this bill is like, if we were to actually see it as a book, it'd be this thick, you know, and it'd probably need a wheelbarrow to carry it around.
Well, you would, yeah.
I think the fact that it's digital, it kind of takes that physical element out of it. If we saw this bill for everything that it actually is, we would say, why are we not breaking this down and having serious discussions about each section of it?
Yep.
Anything?
Is there anything else? I'm just thinking if there's anything else we need to cover. I'm not really sure, other than the bill is back in next week. They obviously want to get it finished before they've got to prorogue Parliament. Basically, for like the House of Lords, it's like every day is basically space to hear bills so they can try and get everything finished off before then. Whether we get a new Prime Minister before then, we'll see.
I mean,
news this week.
There's a lot of talk
been here
about,
before.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about some of the things that Starmer's done wrong and whether or not he will be, you know, scorned for it. But I think it's just speculation at this point in time. People are asking, when are we likely to see this implemented? And the
First,
short answer is
to get through consultation.
Yeah, the short answer is we don't. It's like, how long is a piece of string? Like, we really don't know, but we can speculate because we've got consultation and statutory guidance. So it depends how long they string that out. If they're really keen to get it done and be in a rush with it like they have with the bill, we could see it as soon as September, but it's more likely to be 2027 because, let's be honest, they don't really like doing their homework. They've got more shiny things to be interested in once they've got our bill out of the way and done and dusted.
Although you're assuming they don't have something ready to go, regardless of the consultation.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it's like, how long is a piece of string? We really can only speculate and assume that the process is not pre-loaded and that they have all of this extra work to do before it's actually made ready. That's not to say that local authorities aren't going to try and implement it early as well, because remember, this is like herding cats. Local authorities will do as they please. They'll see that it's been passed and they'll go, oh, shiny opportunity, we've got our AGM, let's get it in and get it done and dusted and get it implemented in time for Christmas. So,
although I bet you they wouldn't have the parent feedback forums ready to go.
But this is the thing, is local authorities are allowed to vary how they implement certain aspects. And I think what we're going to see is some very keen local authorities that were pushing for this bill implementing it far sooner than those that are like Devon saying, we don't, Dorset was saying, we feel like this is a big burden that's being asked of us. We didn't ask for this. And the thing is, it's been assumed they did. It's been assumed that every local authority ever asked for this. Even though we actually know it's only a minority of local authorities that were really pushing strongly for this bill. So, it's kind of, you know, I feel a bit sorry for them because it is the same as our community in that we don't want this bill either, and we're having it forced upon us as well. So the best thing that anyone can do, that was the other thing that I took out of conversations online at the moment, is contact your MP. Tell them what your feelings are. Ask them to be involved. Make them aware of the main issues and speak to your local authority as a group, because you can lessen the impact if you have a good relationship with your local authority in advance of this coming in.
And also you can just ask your MP questions as well. Try and get them to go find out things for you. So, yes, sometimes the Facebook groups are faster to get an answer, but you know what? Your MP isn't going to be aware of things unless you try and get them to do it for you. So, like, when is the children not in schools guidance going to be ready? You can get your MP to ask them. You know them. There are deadlines for oral questions, written questions that can take any time. They tend to be asking for specific data or specific dates and things like that. Okay. But you can also just ask your MP to try and find things out, try and pique their interest, try and
they like being
not let them forget who you are. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is that. But remember, you are whining and dining these MPs. You are lobbying them. You can't just assume that they are going to do what you want them to do because you have tasked them with it. So you have to be persuasive. And the more persuasive you are...
Nice. You have to be nice.
The more persuasive you are. I mean, I'm not saying to get out the red light, but if you can try to kind of gently persuade them in your direction of thinking, then they are more likely to act on your behalf. But you have to bear in mind, in the other ear, they've got Starmer. And if Starmer's the only voice that they've got nagging them in that ear, then they're going to just believe that. You've got to be that opposing voice. And you have to understand that there is opposition. There is something that you need to overcome to persuade them.
Yep. I think we've ranted on enough for tonight, haven't we?
Yes, but I think we needed it, really. As a community, we need it, because I think a lot of us are feeling a little downtrodden, and we don't think that there's a happy ending at the end of this. But I think if we all stand together and we link arms and we sing Kumbaya, it'll be fine.
Maybe we can still make a nuisance of ourselves. It's all good.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. And we will be back next Friday. It might just be me and Amy. We'll see who else we can rustle up. And say good night.
Night.
Night.